Hello, movers and shakers. It's Jay Burnham here with the Real Jay Burnham Show. And today I'm going to give you guys exclusive content of how to take your business to the very next level. I'm so excited because even I, who have been in this business for 10 years, I'm excited to learn from one of the guys who have actually taken it to the next level. And I'm online now with Eric Wirks from Wirks Moving and Storage. Did I get that correctly?
That's correct.
Okay. So Eric is going to... we're going to go over this video and hopefully we've got everything worked out. We're doing a couple different things, but hopefully you can hear. And I got to stop my dogs. Stop. All right, good. So we'll get right into it. So Eric, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me. I certainly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Jay. Too.
All right, awesome. So let's get right into it. I'm really excited to hear about your story. How did you start your business? When, so on and so forth, the progression to the point where you're at now.
I never I'm being in this industry.
Okay.
I had college for finance.
Okay.
And I had an opportunity to go to Atlanta. I'm originally from up in Ohio.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And I had some. I used to come down to Atlanta in the summertime and work with the relatives. I came down one time. I saw the opportunity down here and decided. And the original plan was to go back to school because I had finished 3 years, and I got a job as a mover.
Okay.
And I kind of saw it work. It's like, well, I can do this. And that's kind of how the story started. I was 20 years old at the time. It's about 15 years ago.
Okay.
So I did that for a while, and I progressed really fast. I picked it up really. I didn't know at the time, but the general manager, he said, I wish I had 15 guys like. And today I.
Okay, you kind of broke up there. Can you go over there just before you got the 15 guys or whatever you said it was?
No, I've been in business for about 15 years. 15
years, okay. Yeah. Okay, good. So you started your company, what, 15 years ago?
No, we've been in business. My company's been in business for about 8 years. It'll be since January.
Okay, good. So 8 years. So you started your particular moving company just as the economy started coming back up again. Then.
That would have been at the end of 2009. Pretty much tank.
Yeah, yeah. I started in 2008, and it was a shit show here. So
yeah. I have progressed. My background's from the van lines, so I was an operator there.
Okay.
And I was a Grable van.
Grable, okay.
And I was the youngest operators they ever hired.
Wow.
And in the first year, I took my owner operating business from a truck to 4 trucks.
Wow.
And it kind of progressed there. And that's real the scope of my was working for the van lines.
Oh, so that's where you cut your teeth, was working for the van lines like Grable.
Yeah, and before that, it was a 2 truck. I'm sure it was good.
All right, good.
Kind of what I saw what both sides of the industry did really well, and I saw where both sides, in my opinion, where they kind of left.
All right. So Eric, I'm going to ask you to do something. Do you still got that mic you had that when you plugged in? Because this is
grab it.
Yeah, could you grab that real fast? Because we can barely hear you. You're breaking up.
How's that? Can you hear?
Oh, that seems to be much better because you were breaking up really bad.
Yeah, you're in a bad echo too.
Yeah. Okay, good. So let's revamp. Let's start over. So let's give me the story because I can edit this, so that's not a problem.
Okay.
So why don't we go over the story again, how you started? That would be great.
I was 21. I had just moved to a new city. The plan was to go back to college and finish my degree.
Okay.
I had 3%. And I started working for a moving company, shipping in a truck.
Okay.
And I was there about a year. And they did all they could. And I decided to go to the next level. And I heard about an owner-operator opportunity at one of the major van lines. So I jumped on it.
Okay.
And they hired me.
Right.
And I was the youngest owner-operator they ever hired. And that's kind of how my journey began.
Great. And you were owner-operator for Grable, right? The long
Correct.
distance over. Okay. Now, how did you get the truck? Did they finance you truck? Did you finance it? Or did you guys work out some sort of deal? Or how did that go?
No, they didn't finance trucks themselves, but they knew individuals that did that.
Okay.
And so I went through them and paid an extremely high interest rate.
Okay. Well, because it seems like you probably would have been a real young and didn't really have much of a credit back then. So like that just, you know what I mean?
Not credit that would be good enough that a bank would pay me any attention.
Exactly. Okay. So you got in the truck and you started doing the owner operating. And you say you took that to 4 trucks. Is that right?
In a year, yes.
In 1 year. That's impressive.
Yes.
What would you say was the reason for your success in that?
My background with numbers and finance helps me out a lot. I'm really good with money.
Okay.
And that's what I see is one of the biggest downfall with people in our industry is they can be good movers, but
Right.
they're not good at what's really important.
Right. I totally 100% agree with you. I mean, and I'm one of those. I'm one of those guys. I got to, I'm not good with money. And now I'm 10 years in. I'm going, damn, I wish I had good credit. And now I'm doing what doing what is necessary to fix the credit so that I can get the trucks and so on and so forth. So, because I've been renting and leasing trucks, doing well, but when you're spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on rental trucks a year, I could have bought one, over that many years. So,
and sometimes there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It depends. Not every business model works exactly the same for every company.
Right. Okay. So you were good with money, which is definitely a tactic that we all need, for the most of us, need to work on. So good. We know. So let's say now we've got up to that point. You've got 4 trucks. You're working for Gabe, that company. Grable. Thank you. What did society say? You know what? Okay, I'm going to take what I know here, the skills I have here, and go do Wirks moving and storage.
It's kind of funny how that all fell into place. I had approached the general manager at the Grable location that I was at in Atlanta, and they had guys there that ran their entire commercial division, commercial moves only.
Okay.
Well, Grable being a major van line, they could care less about COD move.
Okay.
So my thought process was, I want to do for COD local moving at Grable what the commercial guys do. I want it all.
Okay.
So I wanted to build an entire division at that location.
Okay.
And everybody was on board. The sales reps were on board, and the dispatcher there had a real problem with that. They did not like the idea of the sales reps going around her and going directly to me. And so the plan was always to do this, and then that got in the way, and it didn't happen.
I got
and
you.
thank God for that.
Okay. So basically, because there was somebody that was in your environment that didn't have the same vision as you, basically.
Correct.
You decided, hey, all right, screw it, then I'll go do this myself. So so how many trucks did you start off with your own? I mean, the trucks that you have, those are yours, but I'm sure that they got lettered up and they're wrapped with Grable's info on them. So did you had to rip all that off and then put on your own stuff? So with your four trucks.
No, the economy tanked, and I wasn't ready for it.
Okay.
And I started hemorrhaging money.
Okay.
Trying to keep something afloat that I should have walked away from. Right. And then I eventually became $20,000 in debt.
Ouch.
2 of those trucks are repossessed.
Okay.
But I had two that were paid off.
Okay.
And I had to start over.
Okay, good. So now these are semi trucks with 53-foot trailers, or are these straight trucks?
Straight trucks.
Okay. 26 footers?
Correct.
Okay. So you have two straight trucks, and you're going to go into it and you're going to do your own localized as well as long distance moving now, correct?
Not quite there yet.
Not quite. Okay, what's the story behind that?
So I also at the time had a lease purchasing business.
Okay.
Because one of the things that I saw were owner operators trying to finance trucks and couldn't do it.
Okay.
So I would finance trucks to them, and that all happened by mistake.
Okay.
My ops manager came to me one time, and one of his driver did a balloon payment lease. So I paid off his lease for him, 10 grand. Here I am, 23 years old, taking care of someone in his 50s. So that's how that business started, and I still do that today.
Okay, great.
So I at least purchased those trucks out.
Oh.
And then because I was $20,000 in debt.
Right.
And I needed money coming in.
Right.
So the business didn't start till about a year and a half later after that, when I repossessed this truck. And I was like, well, hell, I might as well try to put them to work.
Yeah, right.
And that's how that started.
Okay, great. Excellent. All right, so good. So you figured it out. You get going. Now you got your trucks now. And you're starting like the rest of us slobs. And I say that with love, guys. I really do. So it's coming out of a bad economy. How do you get the jobs? How do you keep you and everybody busy?
I had two grand saved up. Okay. And I bought leads.
Ooh, I'm not a fan of buying leads.
Neither am I. Neither am I. I would never do that today.
Oh, good. Okay.
But I knew who the top sales rep was in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I paid him above the industry standard to sell for me. And he was really good at selling leads.
At selling leads or selling
the leads that I bought.
Right.
That I bought.
Okay, good. So you would buy the leads, you would ship them off to the salesperson that is just kick ass.
Yeah.
And he started selling these for you, right?
And it started coming in.
Okay, good. And I think that's really interesting because I'm my own seller, and I it's not that I don't want to do it. It's that I hate that idea of relinquishing and delegating that aspect to somebody, right? And I think for us guys who are just starting, want to get to the next level, we've got to get over that control issue or that mental block to hire somebody. So you knew this guy was kick ass.
Yes.
he was working for another company or something then?
He was working for a lot of companies.
Okay. So he was doing this on the side for a bunch of people.
Correct.
And you said, all right, I want to use you for you to give me a little bit of your interest. I'm going to give you a percentage point or whatever it is more than what you would normally get.
In fact, it was actually 3 percentage points higher.
Okay.
But that may be a priority.
Right. Yeah. So he's going to work a little extra hard. You're going to lose a little bit in the front end, but you're going to get that work at the end. You're going to make that up. You're going to do a great job. Now you've got that customer, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
All right, good. So now, and then once you learned your lesson about buying leads, how did you keep the salesperson? Did you offer him that if he brings in his own leads, you get even a higher percentage, or what?
No, I have. Remember the individual I told you about that I worked for at 2 Minute Truck?
Yep.
That general manager.
Yeah.
Well, he's my general manager today.
Oh, okay.
He came on.
Okay.
On with me.
All right, good. So this guy, he spent $2,000 to buy a bunch of leads, and of course, back then the leads weren't as expensive as they are now. So that $2,000 bought a little bit more leads than they would now.
They were about, depending on whether they're local or interstate, $5 to $7 a piece.
Yeah, that sounds about right when I looked into it and started doing it. Now, even in the area I'm at, you're in a big metropolitan area. I'm in a small metropolitan area. You know, I've only got about 250,000 in my city here. Our leads are going for about $7 to $10, and I've even seen them go up to 15.
Okay.
So they're pretty expensive. Okay, good. So now you get the salesman. He's kicking ass. He's selling you your leads. You're bringing in the business. You're keeping your 2 trucks busy, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. And then you said, you know what? I'm going to bring in. How do you know what time when to bring in this general manager?
Because I had brought it to Grable.
Yeah.
With me.
Yeah.
So he got burnt out at 2 Minute Truck.
Okay.
And he always wanted to go into business for himself.
Okay.
The original plan was him to be a partner of mine.
Okay.
It just didn't work out that way.
Okay. All right.
Because some of us will take the risk,
right,
and some of us won't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I made him a contract.
Okay.
If you don't know what a contractor is, he brought a truck with him. So I would give him a percentage of the job, and he would pay the operational overhead.
Oh, sorry. I just did something weird there. Sorry. Don't mind me. I'm trying to get something going here. All right. Okay, good. So he brought in a truck, and he would get a little bit above the overhead on the thing, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he would get a percentage of the job, and he would cover all the operational overhead to run that job.
Okay. And that includes all the other trucks as well, or just the one truck he brought in?
Well, no, one of the problems I was facing is what's the most efficient way to manage all these jobs, these 3 trucks, and still concentrate on what's important.
Right.
You know, the back end office stuff.
Right.
You know, and I decided early on to contract the jobs out under my authority, just like Grable Van Lanston. So I gave them as little overhead as possible. So, for example, I have a job on the books,
Mm-hmm.
and I give the Destroyer 40 to 45% of the gross, and he would pay for labor and fuel.
Okay.
And I'd cover all truck costs and maintenance. He'd pay for his hotels, those too, if he went out of town, food, etc.
Okay. All right. Good. So you're basically, so if the job hypothetically was $1,000, one job, let's say, we just to make the math easy, you would give him $450. You keep $650. Out of that $650, you do all the marketing, maintenance of the trucks, licensing, insurance, and all that. He covers the payroll and the guys and the crews and on the gassing and all that.
Correct.
Okay. And so that worked for a while, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was able for me early on to cover a lot of jobs, give awesome customer service, and run capacity early on.
Good. Now, I want to go back a little bit to the sales guy. How many jobs? I mean, you're just starting off. You use this $2,000, which is awesome, to buy leads. How many jobs was he bringing in for you to be able to go, okay, let's go up to bringing in this general manager and setting up this structure?
Enough to stress me out.
Dude, I'm stressed out with what I have now.
It's crazy. Sometimes I can't believe how big we are in such a short period of time. You know,
right? And that's what the guys want. They want to know, okay, how do I go to there? How do I get to that level? So this guy, he's bringing you. Obviously, he's bringing you a lot of business, right?
Yes.
And which is awesome. And we don't necessarily need to speak specific numbers because I understand you want to keep that. But he had to be bringing in like hundreds of jobs.
Yeah, that, and we would give such a good service.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I keep hearing all these echoes.
Oh, I'm sorry. It might be maybe I could have blocked my mic. Does that help if I block it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I could. I figure because this mic is also recording my Skype, and since we're doing the Skype, that's why we're doing things. So, let me see if I can. Is that a little bit better?
That's good.
Okay, good. I'll put the mic away so it's not directly in front of the sound here.
Don't worry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I just put my mic off to the side so it's not directly in front of the speakers and stuff like that. Because my mic is what's recording off our Skype. Even though we're recording through the video, my mic's recording your voice through Skype.
I know, it's like every time I talk, I hear the delay on your end.
Ah, okay, good. So that's why I moved it off. I just turned the gain on a little bit, and that way it's not directly in. And let me change the direction of my sound speaker so it's not. Yeah, that should help out right there. Does that help out?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, yeah, because you're not breaking up. You're not breaking up like you were, but that's awesome. Okay. So obviously, to go back to the question is, your sales guy, he was bringing in hundreds of jobs for you, enough to stress you out. I mean, this guy must have been really kick-ass. I mean,
yes and no. It's a lot easier to sell jobs when you're selling them for a substantial discount.
That makes sense. Okay, so to get your foot in the door, your guy was selling us leads, but you were doing it. So you were basically coming in under everybody, undercutting them all to get the leads and get your foot in the door. Is what I'm kind of.
Yes and no. The problem with leads are you're competing with so many companies,
right?
That you kind of have to just being in the same competitive level as them.
Mm-hmm.
You're undercharging more than you want to.
Right.
But we were still profitable.
Yeah, he's undercutting it enough where you guys are still profitable. Maybe not as much. You're not probably not as profitable as you should have been, but enough to be profitable, enough to put some money in the bank, and still, but be able to bring in that job.
Yes.
Do the job. Okay, good. Now, was this salesperson that you hired? Was he strictly a salesperson, or was this guy like somebody who knew how to actually estimate a moving job? Like he would actually go to the house and use a cube sheet and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Okay, good. So he knew about the moving.
He could sell over the phone.
Yeah.
And do on-site surveys and that.
Good. All right, good. Because that's important too for the guys, because they're thinking, oh,
we all could.
Yeah.
I know how to sell. My GM knows how to sell.
Right.
He still sells today.
Right. And I think that's important. That's important. But
Absolutely.
For the sake of my guys, I just wanted to make sure that I asked that question so that they don't think, oh, they just go hire some salesperson that has a great resume but has never moved or has had no inkling of how to use a cube sheet or doing anything like that. You know what I mean?
Anybody can be taught
right.
how to use a cube sheet and how the formulas will work.
Exactly.
The hardest part of doing on-site surveys and to teach is how to estimate packing.
Right.
To walk through a house and know exactly what boxes you need and how many you need.
Exactly. And my personal opinion is that the only people that really know how to do that are the people that actually have had to load a friggin' truck before.
Correct.
They've actually busted their hump. And but I think that's important for the guys to understand that. Okay, good. So we've got the machine going now. You got your general manager. You're doing this 45-65 split thing. When did you decide, okay, let's not do the split and actually work like as a regular moving company, or are you still doing the split in some fashion?
I'd mix it up now. I have people, general drivers and labor and contractor.
Okay. So now you bring in some contractors, but I would assume most of your guys are employees, W-2s.
Yes.
So those guys are W-2s. You're not doing any kind of split, but I noticed that you had a big semi now, your own semi.
Yeah, we've had those for a while.
Okay.
I just finally got one refurbished.
Okay.
And wrapped it up recently.
Right. I'm assuming those guys with the big semis, those are your contractors?
I contract that truck out.
Yeah.
I have several businesses.
Okay.
And I implement them in my company.
Okay. Wow.
I have a trucking leasing business.
Okay.
And I rent trucks to the contractor. And yeah. I also contract myself within the company.
Okay, so now for those of you out there, what he's basically doing is he's kind of got an umbrella corporation which incorporates all these other corporations.
Yes.
That sort of helps, and I'm saying this to my guys, so this sort of helps insulate him for liability reasons, but it also it allows him to have different departments, if you will, be kind of autonomous from his regular moving company to long distance and so on and so forth. Therefore, he can kind of have the umbrella, but still have their own little unique organizations. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. You guys are not there yet. What we're trying to do is learn from Eric so we can get to that point. So don't just jump into that.
The guy who I get my insurance from,
yes.
Trucking insurance, he's never seen anything like what I do. And workman's comp.
Oh my goodness.
I drive them crazy.
I bet. Oh, I bet. I mean, you must have one of the best, most patient insurance agents ever.
Yeah, but everything I do saves me a lot of money. Yeah,
knowing because as you can see in the background, I read quite a bit. I'm not just some stupid redneck, So I read. So I kind of understand what you're trying to do. Why I might not understand all the individual facets or intricacies of your organization, I understand what you're trying to do, and I applaud you for that. I think that's amazing.
Like for example, we have a 30,000 square foot warehouse, and I have an investment company that owns that building. So
great. All right, now I want to talk to you about something that the guys. It's a 4-letter word to them. And I want to talk to you about hustle. Now, you and I found each other recently because I just joined a regular board where people were asking about different moving questions and so on and so forth. And I love to give back. I don't know if you've seen my YouTube channel where I'm giving away the advice to get the people up to my level. If you have, thank you. So I'm all about hustle. I'm all about the grind. Tell me about your typical work day.
I'm pretty blessed today. I actually can work on the business and not in it.
Yes.
But I still choose to work in it a lot.
Okay.
But just to give you an example, the first 2 years, I wanted to light the company on fire every day.
I bet. I understand that feeling completely. But, when I go to my networking meetings, and I talk to guys and says, I wouldn't give this up for a world. I would never go to work for anybody ever again. I mean, it would have to be such a cushy, well-paying job for me to leave what I'm doing right now. I'd rather have the stress and the headache and the indigestion than ever having to go and just be in a job where I wanted to kill myself. So I mean, you're working the first couple of years. It's coming out of a very bad economy. I mean, you had to hustle. You got a salesperson. Now, was just as a side, was the salesperson strictly commission, or did you pay like a little bit of a salary as well?
100% commission.
Okay, good.
I don't believe in salaries.
Okay.
I do agree with draws.
Okay.
On certain circumstances.
Right. Okay. Was this salesperson on a draw?
No.
You strictly commission.
100% commission.
Good. All right. Good. So you got this guy. He's out there killing it for you. You're working. Tell me about your grind then. I mean, were you going to networking? Were you doing online ads? I mean, when did you wake up? When did you go to bed kind of thing?
Oh, wow. Get up at 5:30 in the morning, go to bed at 1 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes 2 hours sleep. Sometimes stuff in the office. I definitely ruined the relationship at that time.
That sucks.
My girlfriend wasn't having.
Well, it looks like you got a good one now. I mean, she's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, speaking of which, does she help you in the business, or is she a stay-at-home mom, or does she have her own job?
No, she works in the business.
She does work in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So you guys might be grinding, but you're not as grinding as hard. So you're basically in. Do you know about the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki?
I've never read that from him, but okay. I did read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay, well, he talked about it a little bit. He goes, you're in that business quadrant where you don't have to be there anymore for the business to still be there and give you a paycheck.
No, but it's better when I'm better.
Sure, absolutely. But you're still kind of in that quadrant. Most of us are still in the self-employed quadrant, which is basically what we did is we own our own job. I want to get to the point where I'm in the same quadrant as you, which is, by the way, well done. I mean, from 2009 to now, how many trucks do you got now?
12 straight truck, 1 tractor, 3 trailers, 3 pack vans.
So you got 3 pack vans just dedicated to going out to homes to do packing.
Yes.
Wow. That's impressive. I mean, and you keep all of these trucks busy.
For the most part.
Good for you. Well done.
It slows down a little bit in the winter.
Right.
Not much though.
Right. Now let's talk about how you got to get this many trucks and keep them busy, because a lot of us, we're running 1 or 2, maybe 3 trucks. We're having a hard time keeping those busy. And quite honestly, how do we get to that level? What did you do without giving your deep dark secrets? What is it that you did? Did you go like knock on doors to get apartment complexes? You got contracts? Where are you finding the biz, basically?
I do a lot of mailing.
Okay. Postcards?
Not exactly.
Okay.
I do flyers.
Okay.
But they're very personal.
Okay.
Every one of them is handwritten.
Okay.
And I target to certain types of home.
Right.
But I don't throw my money away to just like a house that's on the market.
Right.
It's very specific.
Right. You're not going to go and just do this to every house that you see on Zillow.
No.
Okay. So that's great, and I love it. So you got this little flyer which you're allowed to personalize. Do you handwrite it, or do you have somebody handwrite it, or is it?
Oh, I have terrible handwriting.
Okay, so
the girls in the office.
They do.
They have good handwriting. Yes.
So do they have like a quota of how many they got to get out every day?
We do about, I'd say if you average it, 50 a day.
Okay, that's
But we only target the high end.
Right.
High end market.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand that. And I do that too with my postcards. Like I have a list that I buy from movingleads.com. These guys are great people. And they give me a list of everybody within my specific criteria. And they give me people who have homes $100,000 or more. Now in my area, somebody who has $100,000 or more, they're usually the more well-to-do people. These are the people that can afford movers. And I send about 300 of those postcards. They're not personalized necessarily. We don't write out. I get the stickers and I stick their name on it. But why I might not get a ton of business, the business I get is usually very lucrative.
Well, let me ask you this, Jay.
Yeah.
When you get junk mail in the mail,
Yep.
What do you do?
I throw it away.
Exactly. But if you get a handwritten envelope, what do?
I'm going to open that sucker up.
Exactly. It's worth the little bit of extra money to do it that way.
Oh, I totally agree.
They're going to open it every time.
So you don't send a postcard, then you're sending a brochure size, or maybe even a brochure about the size of an envelope is basically what's happening.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming your envelope has your logo and all that on it?
No.
No?
It looks like a handwritten envelope addressed directly to them.
No return address?
Yes, we have a return address.
Is it printed, or did you have to write it out?
We have a label for that.
No. Okay.
But their information is all handwritten.
Oh, no, I get you. Okay. Excellent. I think that's a great idea. And I think that, quite honestly, I think more and more that's going to be more valuable down the road, especially as social media and automation in our lives increases. I mean, social media has taken over. There's no doubt. People are on their phones like this 50% of the time per some analysts. We're sitting here in front of our phones 50% of the time. And that's how we're getting our news. That's how we're watching our TV, listening to radio. That's how we're communicating with our friends. So I think it's going to be far more valuable if they get a letter that's handwritten in the mail, like literally stamped and handwritten. Somebody's going to go, oh, it's going to be like, when a kid sees like an old 8-track cassette tape, you know what I mean? You're not as old as I am, but you still might have some familiarity. You get these old 8-track things they had. Kids are going to go, what the heck is this? Well, someone back in my day, that's how we listened to radio. Someone's going to look at it, they go, wow, this is neat. What is this? And they're going to open it up. And I think it's going to be that much more valuable especially as the millennials start to get, become the 30-somethings and so on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, good. You just went blank. Anyway, that was my aside. I think it's going to be very valuable, Are you guys doing any kind of social media marketing?
I dabble in that a little bit. The most important thing, like on my Facebook page, is kind of the review.
Okay.
And it's just really targeted marketing to like a certain demographic that we want to go after.
Right. Now, you do know that Facebook can actually target that demographic right down to.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I've had a lot of luck with Facebook marketing. It's not been good to actually sell the business, but it's been very good in branding and getting my message out. I'm finding if you want to brand yourself, get your name out there, it does a great job. So if you got your name on a truck and stuff, it's a great way to put you to live right here in their head. It's not going to get them necessarily to pick up the call, but that's what I find.
I don't think enough people really spend enough time coming up with the right brand. I spent a really long time coming up with the right logo, the right colors.
Right.
Like when you see my trucks go down the road, you can't miss them. They pop.
Exactly.
I get people sometimes that will send me picture messages from our trucks being in different states.
Right.
So right there, people aren't missing it.
Right. I agree with you. I mean, I chose my logo. I chose my colors very strategically. I wanted something that, 2-Minute Truck have a very unique and iconic logo. There's no doubt about it. But it's easily to be missed. It's a black and white. It's black on white. How many trucks have black on white? It's easy to miss when it's going up and down the road unless they drive like right close to you, and then you can see, oh, that's 2-Minute Truck. I specifically chose the logo and the look, and I have this distinctive wave that I use on all my promo. So I have it. I did it because I was thinking, when I was thinking of my branding, I didn't want to have to wrap the whole truck because I knew that was going to be a huge expense. But I wanted to be able to have something that was going to be unique, that was going to be bright, but yet convey trust, convey integrity, and something if they could see it coming down the road and they would know, oh, that's a USAID moving and storage truck.
I agree.
So I fully agree on the branding there. It's not something you just slough off. It does take a little bit of time and effort. Now you go with Wirks, which is, I like it. You got a unique way of spelling Wirks, which is your last name. So do you cut on your trucks? I didn't really see the full picture, but is there some sort of clever marketing with the name, like Moving Works or something like that? Or
no, nothing like that.
No.
It's funny because a lot of people thought, well, it's not WO
right.
RKS. People aren't going to know what you're talking about, but it's been the complete opposite because it's spelled the way it is.
Right.
People remember it.
Exactly. I mean, that's how it's definitely, I agree. So it's been more of a positive than a negative.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So you're sending these flyers out to, which I'm assuming something similar to me, which is the multiple listing service, to the higher end.
I have exactly what you do.
Yeah.
But I built my own software to get that for me.
Okay.
So basically, whoever you buy this from,
right,
I just have my own thing.
Right. And eventually I want to get to that point too. But for me, I don't have the money in the bank or anything to go and create my own, CRM, like that one kid that was asking questions about CRMs, earlier today online, It's like, dude, if you got one truck, you don't need a CRM. He's a special kid. you know, good. God bless him. You know, I'm glad that he's hungry, but come on, dude. You got one truck. You don't need a CRM. Just move along. You know what I mean? He's trying to. He's hungry and he wants to expand way too fast. Is what I see. He just needs to slow down and have a little patience.
I 100% agree.
But okay, so you have your own program that mines the MLS basically, which is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, and eventually, hopefully, you know, my guys hopefully will learn something from you on how once they get to that level. So you have it. You're sending your ladies in the office are writing out these envelopes to these people. Are you doing any kind of other mailings, or are you doing radio ads, TV ads, anything like that?
I use the same software for that. Like for example, the list you buy.
Yeah.
I had another type of software built that does the same thing for realtors.
Okay.
So as I go after the high-end clientele,
right.
I go after the realtor that sell those homes.
Smart, I think, and that's smart. And Moving Leads, for my guys that are watching this, Moving Leads actually has that same exact service that that Eric is talking about. Sorry. You can now actually have a postcard or a flyer go out to the agent that is selling that home within Moving Leads. Eric is talking about he sends out to the home. He's also sending out to the realtor of that home, which is quite smart. I'm not quite up to doing that. I do have, basically what I did is I went through the internet and all the online. I went to all the real estate brokers in our area, and I literally hand typed out on a spreadsheet every single realtor, their email address, their phone number, the address, what their Instagram handle was, their Facebook page, everything like that. And I send them an email. I put them on an email list, and I send them an email. So I don't send them a letter each and every time, but I do send out something like that.
And that's very smart.
Yeah, I learned that. It was like one day I just had that epiphany. I went, why aren't I talking to the real estate agents? Duh.
And those are the best leads. Those are the leads that everybody should be going after.
I agree, because they're the ones that are going to refer you to do the moves to their customers. I also think that the guys should be getting out there and going to the real estate association meetings, to BNIs, to networking and rubbing elbows, because not only real estate agents but mortgage lenders, people who do the inspections on the homes, you know, mail people, you know, mail delivery people. They know who are moving. You know what I mean? I have a couple of mail people that will go and give me when somebody's put in for a request of address change. He'll give me the information, and I've gotten a couple jobs because of that. And I've given them like some little, you know, thank yous. We don't want to call them money or anything, but we give them thank yous.
We do the same.
Yeah. And so these are smart things, but you're doing it on a more systematic a thing. Now, before you created your software, were you doing that before you created your software?
Oh, the hard way.
The hard way, like I did, like handwrite it out on spreadsheets and all that.
Yes.
So, and how long would that take you a day? Because I know how long it takes me, and I'm definitely probably not doing it on the scale you were doing it.
3 office girl doing it full time.
Right. Is that
in between the other stuff they're doing?
Right. Would you say that would be the secret to your success?
As far as the mailing?
The mailings, doing these mailings to the real estate agents, doing this to the high-end homes and stuff like that. Would you consider that the secret to the secret sauce? Would you say for your business?
The secret sauce. The secret sauce.
Yeah.
Is maintaining an awesome reputation at all costs.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Even if you're not wrong, still maintaining that, doing what it takes.
It goes back to that expression. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Exactly. Right. I agree. I mean, I know that there are people that will claim that we damaged something. I know for a fact that there's no way in hell that it could have been us. You know what I mean? But I'll take care of it anyway. I'd rather take care of it, make my customer happy, lose a few bucks on the front end, because if I make the customer happy, they're going to use us again, and they're going to refer friends to us.
I'll tell you a quick story. I had one customer. We moved, and he was wrong. He thought the job should have went faster than it did. He had like a high-rise elevator. Mm-hmm. Those jobs take a long time.
Right. Yep.
I gave him $200 back on the move. He was so impressed by that. I think we've gotten $40,000 in business from this man for giving him $200, even though he didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
You know? And those things happen all the time. Right. All the time.
I have literally done the move free for somebody just to keep them happy. And they now come back to me quite often when they ask to move. So, and this person was wrong when it happened. My story was, like it wasn't high rise like he said, but he thought it was taking way too long, and the guys were moving slow, and so on and so forth. And this was a job that was like a 5,000 square foot home. We had to use 2 trucks, 4 guys, that kind of thing. And these guys were working their ass off, and it took like 13 hours to do this job, and which is right where it's supposed to be, and we took no damage or anything, but he just thought it was way too long. And I was like, well, it's trying to work it out. And I was like, I'm not going to give his name. I was going to go, so Joe, what's it going to take for me to make up to you, to prove to you that I want to do right by you? He goes, give the move to me free. I said, okay, no charge, and gave him his check back. And that was several $1,000s. And now the guy's like, wow, I didn't have to pay it down. He's willing to pay something, but he just didn't want to pay that whole thing. But I gave it back to him all. And ever since then, every time he's moved, which is over the last 10 years, I think we've moved him 4 times now. So,
wow.
Yeah. So I'm a big believer of that. Sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and let them be right, even if they're wrong.
And you're not going to make everybody happy. Exactly. You're going to have those few that no matter what you do, mm-hmm. they'll put a bad review.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I think out of 50 some Google reviews, I think we have like 2 that are bad.
Right.
And it's going to happen.
It is.
Sometimes you just can't avoid it.
Yeah. Now, in my area, we got some people that are pretty cutthroat, and they'll put bad reviews on us left, right, and center from other competition. Like girlfriends of the guys who work for another company will come in and leave a bad review, and I'm like, why are you doing this? I know you work for a such and such company, and your boyfriend. Why are you leaving me a bad review? This, can we do something about this? But they won't change it. So do you find that you get competitors trying to pull that on you?
No, I fortunately haven't had to experience that.
Yeah, well, it's pretty cutthroat. I mean, we here in Michigan, we don't have. I guess I don't know if it's a regional thing, because I have guys that says, yeah, in some areas that it's pretty bad, and then other areas like yours saying, no, we never had a problem. I don't know if it was something I did initially or something, but because I didn't do everything right when I first started my business. I wasn't.
Oh, we all make mistakes.
Oh, I get calling these things mistakes would be like calling the Apollo 13 mission an oops. Some of the things I've done. When I first started, and I don't recommend this to anybody. When I first started, I went and started slamming all my competition and putting it online and doing, you know what I mean? Showing how they're not licensed and insured. Bad mistake. Just bad.
I agree.
Oh my God. That was lesson learned. You don't knock your competition, even if they deserve it.
I agree.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but hey, I would like to chuck that mistake up to youth, but considering I was like 35, can't really excuse youth for that stupidity. That was just plain stupid. And a definitely mistake I regret. Okay, good. So now you've got all these trucks, you got all these wonderful people that are working for you. How do you keep them happy?
Everybody wins.
Okay.
At the business. Everybody. Everything's a set of base.
Okay.
That was always my whole kind of idea.
Okay.
Because one of the hardest things that I found is when you find great talent, great people, keeping them. And I believe in incentives because people only work hard enough to keep their job without them.
Right. I agree. And that requires paying them enough for them to be happy too.
Yes and no.
Explain.
For example, my general manager.
Okay.
He makes a good salary,
Mm-hmm.
but he gets a percentage of the gross every week, and there's bonuses attached to that. Because just because you give an incentive, you want to put a check and balance in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. So we gross, say, 40,000 in 1 week. He'll get 2% of that. Okay.
Okay. That's pretty good.
So that's the motivation. Keep jobs booking, making them happen, doing fancy dispatch, I like to call it. But at the same time, you don't want to lose quality of service. So how do you put a check on that? Okay. So there's bonuses in play every month if claims are below a certain percentage, and we grow a certain percentage higher at your last month.
Okay.
So that checks everything.
So hypothetically, last month you did, let's just keep the math easy because I'm not good at math. You did $100,000 last month. This month your goal is to do 120,000. And if they hit that, then there's bonuses involved in that. Is what I'm.
Yes.
Right.
But it's not just the growth. You have to have below a certain claims ratio. Okay. Because the last thing you want is just to throw body at the situation.
Right.
Right.
You don't want to just throw money up against the wall and see which sticks.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, so you got the carrot. Do you got the stick as well?
Say that again?
You got the carrot. You got carrots. Do you got sticks as well? The whips?
As far as like how their people are managed?
Yeah, like they get bonuses for doing well, but when they screw up, are there financial repercussions for that?
Absolutely.
So, like if a mover screws up and he breaks a China hutch, is he just going to get a write-up, or is he going to go, hey, you got to fork over some cash?
It depends on whether it's an accident or negligence. And it's not hard to tell the difference.
Right. So but it isn't hard to tell the difference, but sometimes you get guys that will just be like, will stick up for you. They'll back each other up. How do man?
The whole crew gets it.
Oh, the whole crew gets hit.
Although they'll start telling each other real fast.
Yeah.
They'll tell each other real fast.
Yeah. When they're starting to lose money, then you start taking money out of my pocket because your stupidity. Then we're gonna have some words. Is basically I agree with it. I agree with individual punishments and responsibilities and accountability, but I think there's also comes a point too. Then, if the group is going to stand behind each other, then the group also suffers as well as profits.
Correct.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna go turn this light on behind me.
Oh, I like it, Doug. But go right ahead. And Eric said, "Let there be light."
Yeah, it was getting dark in here.
All right. It is getting kind of late. We've been here on about an hour or so. Do you have any questions of me? Do you have anything you would like to ask me?
I mean, I could talk about this all day, and we only scratch the surface.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into just being successful in this industry.
Right.
At least my experience.
Yeah. Oh, I'd definitely like to do some more of it. And if you're willing, you know, when we got some time, sit down and do this again. Maybe you could, you know, give me a list of questions you'd like me to ask you, you know, things that you would like to go over. And I would certainly love to do that. Because I think this is wonderful. And I think it's important that we help each other out, you know, and build. That's why I did my YouTube channel, and I have my insiders group on Facebook. It's to help people get things. And quite honestly, in our industry, there isn't a lot of people that are willing to share their knowledge, unfortunately. So you're one of the rare breed that's willing to sit down and say, "Hey, I'm willing to share what I do," and I would love to learn more if you're open to it.
Absolutely.
Great.
And just like when you asked about the secret sauce, what it comes down to, take care of your customer, take care of your people, and the rest will work itself out.
Great advice. That is great advice. All right, man. I'm going to let you go because I got to let the dogs out before they start deciding my house is the potty. And we'll talk to you later. Okay, sir?
All right, Jim. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.